Rangers have officially appointed Russell Martin as their new manager, and let's just say this one's caused a proper stir across the fan base. It's not just a signing, it's a statement, and whether you're backing it or blasting it, there's no escaping the fact that Martin's arrival at Ibrox has everyone talking. For some, it's being hailed as a progressive, ambitious move, a breath of fresh air, a bold attempt to bring modern football to the club to shake off the dust and inject a new identity on the pitch. For others, though, it sparked concern, doubts, and not just minor reservations, serious questions about his credentials, his experience at the highest level, and whether he's truly the man to guide Rangers back to the top of Scottish football. The split in opinion is sharp, and the debate has turned fierce. But while supporters argue over whether Martin fits the bill, fresh details have begun to surface about what really drove the Rangers board to go for him. And no, it wasn't a panic decision, not some gamble plucked out of nowhere. From what we're hearing, the choice to go with Martin was part of a calculated long-term strategy by the new leadership at the club. According to sources close to the situation, this move was months in the making. The board had a vision, clear criteria for the kind of manager they wanted to lead the next chapter. And Russell Martin, for all the noise surrounding his name, ticked every one of those boxes. But before we dive deeper into that, there's been another major development worth keeping an eye on. Belgian club BURGESS are reportedly eyeing up Rangers coach Yassine Cherfa as a candidate for their managerial vacancy. Now, Cherfa came in during the tail end of Philippe Clement's reign and managed to survive the changes that followed. He stayed on during the interim period, working alongside the likes of Barry Ferguson, Neil McCann, Billy Dodds, and Alan McGregor. And even now, with Martin stepping in, Cherfa remains part of the backroom staff, at least for the moment. That could soon change, though, with reports from Belgium suggesting BURGESS have already made contact. They're exploring several names with Dirk Kuyt's future hanging in the balance, and Cherfa's on their radar. It's early days, but it's clear he's attracting interest. Back to the big news of the day, Russell Martin's appointment. He's now officially the new head coach of Rangers on a 3-year deal. At 39 years old, Martin brings with him a managerial CV that includes stints at MK Dons, Swansea City, and Southampton. He's managed over 250 matches. And while his most recent job with the Saints ended in a sack last December, there's no denying he left an imprint. He took Southampton up to the Premier League, playing a brand of football that got people talking, possession-based, front-footed, and brave. That same identity is what the Rangers board wants to see at Ibrox. What's important to understand is how this appointment came about. The recruitment process was led by the club's chief executive, Patrick Stewart, working closely with the newly appointed sporting director, Kevin Thelwell. Both were central figures in identifying and selecting Martin as their man. But the final green light came from the new chairman, Andrew Kavanagh, after the recent American-led takeover was sealed. So this wasn't just a coaching hire, it was the first big decision from the club's new power structure, and they're clearly backing Martin to the hilt. Each of those key decision makers spoke about the appointment, and their comments offer real insight into what Rangers are trying to build. Patrick Stewart was clear the club wanted someone who could shape the way they play, improve the culture, and ultimately win. He called Martin the standout candidate, someone who understands what success looks like at Rangers and who shares the club's ambitions. Then you had Kevin Thelwell, who went even deeper. He spoke about the extensive conversations they had with Martin and how those talks revealed a coach who's grown from his experiences, especially in the Premier League. According to Thelwell, Martin's teams are built around control, dominating, possession, dictating tempo, working hard off the ball, pressing high and aggressively. And for a club like Rangers, where the demands are sky high both domestically and in Europe, those traits aren't just nice to have. They're essential. Andrew Kavanagh, the new chairman, said the process was rigorous and thorough. That, Martin impressed throughout. And more importantly, that the hire fits the club's long-term strategy to attract top talent, support them properly, and build an infrastructure that can deliver consistent success over time. That sort of language isn't accidental. It's a sign that this isn't just about winning the next Old Firm derby, it's about changing the foundations. But of course, for all the talk and press statements, the pressure is now on. Russell, Martin is not walking into an easy job. He's stepping into a club that demands trophies, That spent the last few years in the shadows of its biggest rival, and that's still dealing with the scars of an up and down season that saw them fall short when it mattered most. Supporters want results, and they want them fast. So while the board is thinking long term, the fans will expect short term impact. That's the challenge Martin faces now, proving that his ideas, his philosophy, and his leadership can translate to win silverware and a team that fans can truly believe in again. Speaking of belief, one player who seems to have no shortage of it at the moment is Nicolas Raskin. The Belgian midfielder, who was one of the few bright spots for Rangers last season, is currently on international duty and has been tipped for big things. Former manager Philippe Clement gave Raskin the armband in a crucial Old Firm clash back in January and recently spoke about the midfielder's potential in glowing terms. Clement believes Raskin is ready for the English Premier League, not quite a top 6 side, but certainly capable of competing in the top half of the table. According to Clement, the most impressive thing about Raskin isn't just his technical skill or his engine, it's how much he's grown tactically. He used to be a bit of a firefighter, running into other zones to clean up messes and leaving gaps behind. But he's learned, he's matured, he understands the game better now, and that's what makes him ready for the next step. It's high praise, and it raises real questions about whether Rangers can hold on to him. Then there's the situation with Abdallah Sima. After a season where he was one of the club's top performers, notching 18 goals and 9 assists, his future remains up in the air. The loan deal from Wolfsburg didn't include a purchase option, and with his parent club yet to appoint a new manager, everything's on hold. Sima himself admitted in an interview that he doesn't know where he'll be playing next season. He's due back in Germany, where he still has 2 years left on his contract, but there's no clarity, no concrete plan yet. Just a lot of speculation and hope that something can be worked out. It's a frustrating limbo for a player who clearly found his feet at Ibrox and gave everything during a tough campaign. So with all that going on, the new manager, possible exits, and continued uncertainty around key players, it's safe to say Rangers are entering one of the most pivotal off-seasons in recent memory. The decisions made now will shape not just the upcoming season, but potentially the next several years. And with Russell Martin now at the helm, the responsibility falls squarely on his shoulders. The tactics, the transfers, the tone of the dressing room, all of it starts with him. Whether he can rise to the challenge is the question on every fan's mind. And if there's one thing we've learned about Rangers supporters, it's that they'll back you when you show you're worthy. Passion, effort, ambition, those are the things that matter. Martin doesn't need to win everyone over with words. He needs to do it with results, with performances that get the blood pumping, with a team that plays not just with quality, but with heart. Because at a club like Rangers, there's no hiding, no excuses. You either rise to the occasion or you get swept away by the weight of the badge. And right now, Russell Martin has the chance of a lifetime to write his own story, to build something special, and to bring Rangers back where they belong. While all eyes are on Russell Martin and the enormous task ahead, the club's transfer. Business looms just as large. There's real pressure on the board and the new sporting department to deliver a squad that not only fits Martin's style, but is capable of going toe-to-toe with Celtic across a full season in every competition. That means no half measures, no panic buys, and no relying on potential alone. Rangers need ready players, leaders, ballers who can take the game by the scruff of the neck. Because no matter how much tactical news Martin brings, he's only as good as the tools at his disposal. And right now, this squad still has gaps. There's also the question of who stays and who goes. Players like Todd Cantwell and Tom Lawrence, are they part of the vision moving forward? Can they thrive in a system built on high pressing and quick transitions? What about the backline? Too often last season, Rangers were caught flat-footed, struggling to deal with pace and movement. If Martin wants his side playing on the front foot and dominating possession, he'll need centre-backs comfortable on the ball and full-backs who can bomb forward but recover just as quickly. It's not a small ask, and recruitment is going to have to be sharp. No passengers allowed. The midfield is another area where the shake-up could be significant. Nico Raskin's future remains uncertain, and if a Premier League club comes knocking with a serious offer, Rangers might be tempted. It would be a financial boost, no doubt, but losing a player like Raskin could also leave a massive hole. And while some promising young talents are emerging, there's still a need for experience. Players who know how to win, who felt the equal pressure and still delivered. Then there's the striking department. Goals win titles, and last season proved that without a ruthless finisher, Rangers fall short. Whether the club looks to bring in a proven number 9 or trust someone like Danilo to step up remains to be seen, but one thing's for sure. Martin will demand more movement, more sharpness in and around the box and forwards who can press high without fading by the 60th minute. It's about intensity all game long. Behind the scenes, the shift in leadership has created a fresh energy, but it's also raised expectations. With American investors now pulling the strings, there's a sense that everything is being scrutinized at a higher level, from commercial performance to academy output. And that's where Martin could also have a massive impact. His track record with young players is impressive. He gave debuts, nurtured talent, and built pathways at his former clubs. At Ibrox, that same approach could unlock a new generation of talent, especially if the first team begins to reflect a clear identity and a belief in development. It's not just about buying success anymore, it's about building something that lasts. What's more, Martin isn't a stranger to pressure. As a former Rangers defender and Scotland international, he knows what the badge means. He's felt the heat of the spotlight, the roar of Ibrox on a European night, the intensity of the old firm. That familiarity might just give him an edge, not only in handling expectations, but in connecting with the support. Because make no mistake, this fan base is hungry. Hungry for football that excites. Hungry for silverware. Hungry for a team that wears the shirt with pride and plays with conviction. There'll be no free passes. The opening matches of the season will be crucial. Not just for results, but for setting the tone. If Martin's Rangers start strong, the momentum could build fast. But if there's a stumble early on, the questions will return louder than ever. That's the nature of the job. It's high risk, high reward. But there's something about this moment that feels different. A fresh start, a chance to move forward, and for Russell Martin, the opportunity of a lifetime. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. Rumors are swirling Roongavan this morning after scenes at Glasgow airport sent the Rangers faithful into a frenzy. Word is that Christian Burgess, the towering English centre-back currently plying his trade at Union Saint-Gilloise in Belgium, has touched down on Scottish soil. A video's been making the rounds on social media, showing a man bearing a striking resemblance to Burgess making his way through arrivals. Met with cheers and chants for a horde of BURGESS supporters. Nay, official statements been released by Rangers or Union SG. But the Ibrox faithful are already dreaming of the 1.94 million defender shoring up their backline next season. Whispers have been growing for weeks that Rangers boss, looking to bolster the squad ahead of a crucial campaign, had his eye on Burgess. Known for his composure on the BAA, aerial prowess, and leadership qualities, Burgess could be just the kind of signing they steady the light blues defense after some shaky performances last term. Insiders suggest that Burgess, 32, is keen on a return to the UK and the pull of playing at Ibrox, with storied history and passionate fan base. Maybe two guys they turned on. But others warn that it could be a clever smokescreen, an agent's ploy to stir interest or negotiate a better deal elsewhere. Either way, the airport scenes he set social media alight, with fans flooding forums and group chats, speculating about potential shirt numbers and how Burgess would fit into the current backline alongside the likes of Connor Goldson. Some even claimed that he spotted Burgess later in a local cafe, though those reports remain unconfirmed. No, it's a waiting game. Rangers, he been known to move quietly in the transfer market. So whether this was a mere coincidence or the first visible sign of an imminent signing remains to be seen. But one thing's certain, the Rangers support are buzzing at the prospect, and Ibrox could soon be welcoming a new defensive general Tater foe. Greetings, fans! Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned.